Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Joe Rogan Experience. Today, you ever notice how sometimes, out of nowhere, someone big gets taken down? Like they've been around forever, rich, powerful, untouchable. Then boom, suddenly everyone's talking. Accusations, leaks, lawsuits. That's what's happening right now with Diddy. And man, it's wild. This guy was hip-hop royalty. Bad Boy, Biggie, Mace. He was the industry in the 90s. Built an empire, fashion, liquor brands. Even had a reality show where people walked to get cheesecake. But now, it's like they're peeling back the curtain. Allegations flying left and right. Some serious stuff too, not tabloid fluff. So the question is, why now? Why Diddy? Why this moment? Is it justice? Or is it a power play? Look, Hollywood and music, they're dirty. Everyone knows it, no one says it. Until someone becomes expendable, or dangerous, or maybe too rich, too free. People say, Joe, you're being paranoid. Am I? Or am I just asking what no one else will? Let's backtrack a bit. Diddy's been connected to some shady stories for years. Weird parties, crazy NDAs, rumors, whispers, but it never stuck. Because the dude had power, friends in high places, deep pockets. So what changed? Why now is everything surfacing? Maybe it's part of a bigger cleanup, a shift in culture, or maybe someone flipped on him, someone close. These industries protect their own, until they don't. When they decide you're done, they burn you. Ask Cosby, ask Weinstein, ask Russell Brand. Patterns, man. First it's an article, then a lawsuit, then a video leak, then old friends start talking. It's like a playbook. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty either. I'm saying it's weird. It's calculated. They don't just discover dirt on billionaires. They knew for years. They waited. They chose this time. Why? Maybe he pissed off the wrong person. Maybe he held too many secrets. Or maybe it's all a distraction. Think about it. What else is going on? Wars, elections, AI taking over, people losing trust in institutions. What better way to control the narrative? Throw out a celebrity scandal. The masses eat it up. But you can't deny it's entertaining. The drama, the outrage. Twitter explodes. YouTube's on fire. Every podcast suddenly a Diddy expert. And here I am too. But I just want to ask the real questions, like, who benefits from this? Who's pushing the story? What's their angle? Also, let's talk about the weird details. Private jets, secret rooms, surveillance cameras in places they shouldn't be, parties where phones get taken. That's not normal, that's high-level blackmail shit. And Diddy? He's not just a rapper, he's a gatekeeper. Or he was. Maybe the industry's evolving. The old guard is getting purged. They're clearing the way for new blood. More controlled, more compliant, less connected to the past. You know, the era where artists owned their stuff, where hip-hop had teeth. Maybe that era is getting deleted. Think about Biggie. That case never got solved. And who was around him 24/7? Who had the money to keep things quiet? I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just asking questions. That's what I do. And the lawsuits? Some already settled. Quietly. NDA'd to hell. Why pay if you're innocent? Why not fight it in court? Unless the truth is worse. Or the system's stacked. Could be both. You ever notice these stories always involve control? Money, sex, power. Those three always link up. Diddy had all three. That's a dangerous mix. Especially when you stop following orders. That's when they come for you. Or maybe it's karma. Maybe everything catches up eventually, no matter how rich you are, or how many Grammys you've got. Maybe the truth doesn't die. You think Jay-Z's nervous? Or Dr. Dre? They came from that same world. They know the game. They saw what went on backstage, on tour, in studios. It's not pretty, but it's real. And the victims? What about them? We should be listening, not dismissing. But we also need to be skeptical. Because media loves a takedown. It sells. And if it bleeds, it leads. So here we are, Diddy under fire. Media circus in full swing. His empire shaking. More stories coming every day. Will he survive it? Or is this the end of Bad Boy? Maybe he'll talk. Maybe he'll expose others. That's how it usually ends. Someone flips, someone else gets dragged in, and the dominoes fall. I don't know if Diddy's guilty, but I know this. When billionaires fall, it's never random. It's planned, and it's brutal. You think you're in control, then you're not. You think you've got friends, then they vanish. Silence is loyalty, until it isn't. That's what scares me, the power behind the curtain. The ones we don't see. They pull strings, decide when someone's done. So, why are they exposing Diddy? You know what else is crazy? The timing. They always do it when you're vulnerable, or when you're about to make a big move. Like, Diddy was trying to go global, starting schools, expanding businesses, talking legacy stuff. That's when they hit hardest. The elites hate when you think big, when you talk about generational wealth, especially if you're not one of them. They let you rise, but they never let you rule. Ask Kanye. He went off script. Boom, erased from endorsements. Media turned on him overnight. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, you don't control the narrative. They gave Diddy the illusion of freedom, the illusion of power. But real power? That's invisible. It doesn't come with music videos and vodka brands. Ever wonder how many NDAs are floating around right now? How many stories are being silenced? Or how many people are scared to speak? Not because of lawsuits, because of what might happen to them. There's a reason people whisper in this business. A reason they use code words. A reason so many celebs vanish for a mental health break. Or go to rehab out of nowhere. It's not always about drugs. Sometimes it's about secrets. You know how intelligence agencies used to run Hollywood ops? You think that just stopped? Come on. Information control is everything. So when someone with influence like Diddy becomes unstable or unpredictable, that's dangerous because he knows things. He's seen things. That kind of knowledge doesn't come without risk. And you know what's more powerful than fame? Silence. The kind they enforce. Quietly. Permanently. Look at the artists who died too young. Tupac, Biggie, Aaliyah, Prince, MJ. You think those were all accidents? They were all fighting something, speaking up, questioning contracts, trying to own their work. That's what gets you blacklisted, or worse. Diddy's been around that energy for decades. He knows how dangerous it gets. But maybe he thought he was immune. Maybe he thought money could protect him. It can't. Because once they decide you're done, that's it, lights out. And you'll see the puppets come out. Old friends turning. Tabloids publishing anonymous sources. It's all coordinated. It's all meant to make you disappear. But here's the twist. What if this is part of something bigger? Like a reset, a purge of the old generation. Replace them with TikTok celebrities. Easier to control, no history, no backbone. Diddy represents the old world. When moguls built their own empires. When hip-hop was raw and real, not sanitized and brand safe. That world is being erased. And the people behind the curtain, they're rewriting the rules. This isn't just about bad behavior. This is about power realignment. Making sure no one gets too big again. Keeping the next generation obedient. We've seen it before. Take them down publicly. Shame them. Turn them into villains. Even if they once inspired millions. Then pretend it was all for justice. So people feel like something good happened. Meanwhile, nothing changes. The system stays intact. The corruption just shifts hands. Diddy isn't innocent, but he's not the only one, not by a long shot. He's just the one they picked. And that should scare all of us, because it shows how fake the game is, how fast they'll bury you, how fast they'll erase your legacy. But here's the real question. What does Diddy know that we don't? Who has he protected? Who protected him? Because if he falls, a lot of other names might get dragged down too. Executives, politicians, celebs, people we've never even heard of. That's why this feels dangerous. When the dam breaks, everything behind it floods out. Maybe that's what they're afraid of. Not Diddy himself, but what he might say. You ever hear the stories about those parties? Celebs getting invited, then never coming back, or showing up and then acting different forever. Like something changed them. What happens in those rooms? Why so many NDAs? Why the no phones allowed policy? It's not for fun, it's for control. This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is about how the system uses people, builds them up, then breaks them when needed, replaces them, repeats the process. They say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. But what if that hand is strangling you? What if you wake up one day and realize you're not free, you never were? That's the moment you either disappear quietly or they make an example out of you. I think Diddy tried to play both sides. Thought he could be independent and protected. That never works. The system doesn't share power. It demands total loyalty. And now, they're coming to collect. Not just his money, his silence, his image. But here's the irony. The more they try to destroy him, the more people start paying attention, asking the real questions, digging into the real machine behind the scenes.